Hey guys, MPIMD Railfan here, and today is my 140 subscriber special, the second Q&A video. Guys, thank you so much for all of your questions, and I'm now going to answer them. So, we're going to dive right in. I have the questions open right here on my phone, so let's get right into it. Alright, Miles Jajic asks, if you could go anywhere in America, where would you go to catch the most train action in a day? Well, I've always wanted to go to the Northeast Corridor, mostly because of the Acela and the ACS-64s, which I like the ACS-64s a lot. Actually, I like them more than the AEM-7s and HHP-8s, because I thought that the AEM-7s looked a bit generic, and I thought that the HHP-8s just didn't look that good to begin with. But the ACS-64s I really like, and I know a lot of people don't like them, but that's not. But what I'm trying to say is, Northeast Corridor is where I've always wanted to go for passenger rail action. As far as freight goes, I don't really know about locations outside of Chicagoland for freight, but for passenger, definitely the Northeast Corridor. So thanks for your question, Miles. I will now proceed to the next one. NNW475 asks, what is your favorite place to watch trains? Also, what is your favorite locomotive? What's my favorite place to watch trains? That's actually a hard question to answer. Well, to watch them, I've always liked the BNSF racetrack. I've always liked going there, but I never really watched trains. I mostly filmed them. But if you mean my favorite place to rail fan, I have three. Berwyn, Franklin Park, and actually it might only be two. Berwyn and Franklin Park is where I've always gone for rail fanning. But I'm going to new places every time I go rail fanning. So yeah. And there was another question. I have to unlock my phone because Apple. Alright, and what's my favorite locomotive? Definitely Metro 401, which is an MP36PH-3C. 401, also known as Oliver Ollie Tibbles, is just, in my opinion, the best locomotive ever. It's not only because it's just like a completely spotless and sleek locomotive, it also has a really touching story behind it, I have to say. I won't say it now, just look it up. You can just look up Oliver Ollie Tibbles or Oliver Tibbles or whatever on Google. But it also has a really interesting story on how it got resurrected from a Dash 3S into a Dash 3C. So I highly recommend checking both of those out. But Metro MP36 PH-3C number 401 is by far my favorite locomotive. Nothing compares. I know, I'm a foamer. You don't have to tell me. Alright, and, okay. Metro MP36407 asks, what are 5 of my pet peeves? What are 5 of my pet peeves? Well, I suppose one of them is YouTube channels that are created solely for commenting. There's a lot of YouTube channels that I know of, and not all of them are bad, but a lot of them are just like these YouTube channels that have that just like comment on all of these videos and are like, your video sucks, even though they don't have any videos of their own. I don't know, those people have always just kind of, I don't know. That's been one of my pet peeves. That's really the only one I can think of. I mean, I would have to take some time to think about others, but that's my main pet peeve. Sorry, Nick, but yeah. Anyways, I have to keep unlocking my phone each time. Let's see. Go back to the video. BNSF Warbonnet asks, what is your favorite, or my favorite, Metro EMD locomotive? Definitely F40Cs. I've always liked them. I've always liked them more than the F40PHs because, well, F40PHs are seen by a lot of like Amtrak enthusiasts as classic locomotives. on Metro, it kind of gets a little boring seeing them because, like, I live right by the Union Pacific North line, and it's like all you see is F40s on that line. F40Cs, though, are by far my favorite Metra EMD locomotive. And I would say they might even be my favorite of all EMD locomotives, although I also like Aces and SD70M-2s as well. So F40Cs, by far, are my favorite Metra EMD locomotive. Okay. Illinois Railfan 1630 asks, 1. Where can I sit? I don't know what you mean there, sorry. 2. If Metro brought back an F40C, 611 or 614? To be honest, I would be fine with either one, because they've been saying that they would be bringing back 611 and 614. I would be fine with either of them. If they said that they were bringing back 614 over 611, I really wouldn't care. I would just be happy that they're bringing back an F40C. Because, they've been talking about rebuilding them, and they really haven't moved for about 4 or 5 years. But, yeah, can't really answer that one because F40Cs are my favorite Metro EMD locomotive. I would be fine with either 611 or 614 being brought back. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 questions from Standard Gauge Railroader. Wow, thank you for all those questions. Okay, what is your favorite heritage unit? Definitely Union Pacific 1995. I don't know about Norfolk Southern heritage units. My favorite Amtrak heritage unit is Phase 3. I can't remember which one that is. Which one Phase 3 is, I'll probably just look it up after this video is done and post it in the description, but my favorite Amtrak heritage unit is the Phase 3 heritage unit. And while BNSF doesn't really have heritage units, my favorite heritage paint scheme from BNSF is the War Bonnet. Where do you want to railfan in the... where is your top favorite place to railfan? Like I said earlier, I've mostly gone to Franklin Park and Berwyn, but I have a ton of other places I go to. Where do I want to railfan in the future? Northeast Corridor, by far. That's my main destination outside of Chicagoland. What is my favorite commuter railroad company? Metra, if that wasn't obvious already. Favorite freight railroad company? BNSF. Because of the War Bonnet and the Great Pumpkin schemes. I love those. Haven't met any railfans in person. Oh, certainly. I've met Chicago Railfan 427, Metra MP36 407, Metra F40C, Metra 163, Amtrak Fan 90368, Illinois Railfan 1630, and Train Gamer 15. I've met all those people in person, and I have to say I would consider a couple of those people friends now. It's just, a lot of people can become friends off of YouTube. I mean, that's the thing. What is my favorite train horn? P5, especially Newcast. Second favorite train horn, 3rd Gen K5LA. Those are the ones on the F59s. What's the most dangerous rail fanning day I can think of? I really don't know, honestly. Well, there was one time where my camcorder almost broke. So I was at Deerfield with Miles and Greg, that's Chicago Railfan 427 and Amtrak Fan 90368 to you guys. But we were filming the Hiawatha. It was the northbound Hiawatha. It was being led by P42, had an NPCU trailing. Yeah, I think that's what it was, but I might be wrong. But I placed my camcorder too close to I placed my camcorder, my tripod, pretty much on the yellow line, and the Hiawatha just flew by, knocked over my tripod, and luckily my camcorder didn't break, but my SD card caused some files to be shuffled around and not saved, so that's really the only situation where my camcorder was in danger. I can't think of any times when I was in danger or any of my friends were in danger when we were rail fanning. But yeah, there we go. Those are all of our questions from Standard Gauge Railroader. Um, RB Railfan asks, I'm a new subscriber to the channel, so would you say Metro is your favorite to Railfan? If so, why? If not, what else? Metro's my favorite to Railfan, I'll be honest, because part of it's nostalgia. I've grown up with Metro, and it's just the power on Metro. You know, the F40s. Even though the F40s can get a bit boring, it's like nothing really beats them. The MP36s are great and all, but the only locomotive that really beats an F40 is 401, to be honest. But yeah, Metro's my favorite to rail fan. CTA is a close second, but I guess with the CTA you don't really get the variety that you get on Metro or Freight. But CTA is more fun to do like station tours and time lapses on. So yeah, Metro is my favorite to rail fan. And finally, San Diego Railfan asks, what was your very first Heritage unit you caught? It was Union Pacific 1995 in Elmhurst. I actually have that video uploaded, so if you want to check that out, feel free to do that. But yeah, that was my first Heritage unit I ever caught. I did see 1989 in service. That's Rio Grande Heritage. But Union Pacific 1995 was the first that I ever caught, like, on camera. And I believe that's all of the questions. Thank you guys so much for all your questions. It really means a lot. And my channel's just been growing so fast lately. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. So, thanks for all the questions. I'm MPIMD Railfan. And have a good one.